There is also the character of Zerelda, Frank and Jesse's mother, a woman who was brought up in a tough life in a roadhouse in Kentucky, who probably saw every kind of violence there was by the time she reached maturity, and who was able to take a hold of not only her sons and family, but also governments and states and criticism by the public, and just deal with it in a very powerful way. A lot among the family didn't appreciate Zerelda. Some think she's an unsung hero. Many think her history needs to be written. But they're all admire her character and what she did for those boys. But they do contribute the fact that she was a mother that was isolated with her two sons. We have the common themes of denial, we have the common themes of secrecy, we have the common themes of public relations, John Newman Edwards, the kind of public relations we employ today when we're doing this event. Today, the Jesse James family needs to be redefined. It needs to be redefined by its genealogy, by historical research, and show the evidence that these boys came from a law-abiding family, a community-building family. And when we understand that, we have to reassess what were the motivations that caused them to do what they did. How the legend of Jesse James may change in the future will depend a lot on how the family will change in the future. And that work is already being seriously assessed by serious historians who are beginning to realize the story they thought was completely told is only now beginning to emerge in a completely different form and will entirely have to be reassessed. Tonight I want to announce to you something that may seem unusual for the family, seeing that we are under attack by people who demand our blood. Today I'm going to announce to you the James Family DNA Project. Now this is a project where we will start collecting the DNA of James family descendants. Now, the anomaly in this, of course, is there are no descendants of the Jesse James family or the Drury Woodson family who carry the James name. So again, we are going to have to go in through another door to find out what those relationships are. So we will start where we started before, by looking at the other families. We will start by looking at the family's name, James. We will start collecting the DNA. We will start cataloging it. And we will see where that DNA research takes us and in what directions it points us. And in order to get that started, and in order to fund that, in order to fund the James Family DNA Project, that's why we have the silent auction. There are 3 volumes sitting on this table to the left of me. One is the genealogy from Stray Leaves of Jesse James. In the middle, you have I, Jesse James, Judge Ross's book. On the far end, you have the genealogy of Drury Woodson James. These are the new genealogies that the current research shows, that go far beyond the past research. These are the new genealogies that tell the more accurate story. Now, some of that accuracy may change in the future as we make more discoveries, but we are beginning to recognize the actual scope, breadth, and depth of the James family. So if you'd like to participate and help support this project, what you can do is you can sign up for to purchase one of these volumes. Now, they're commemorative editions of this event. The histories of Jesse James and I, Jesse James, are all signed, autographed, by the 3 great-grandsons of Jesse James who are in this room tonight in a historic event by itself. And also in the celebration of our meeting here to celebrate Drury Woodson James, the great-grandchildren of Drury Woodson James will sign his genealogy. These genealogies and family histories have a minimum bid of $75. It's a silent auction. You put in your bid, you put in your name, your contact information, and tomorrow night at the fiesta, we will assign who receives those genealogies. In summary, there have always been charlatans claiming to be part of the James family. But there has been new genealogical research, and it's identified a much larger family in scope than was previously identified. And maybe after we look at Joan Bemis's records, we will actually see that she was on the right track after all, and she just stopped a little short with her publications. The new genealogy has identified a broad social fabric of related families, of the James family, of the in-law families, and families related to the in-law families. The new genealogy has identified why Jesse James has been isolated for so long. The new genealogy has identified the former Jesse James family to be an anomaly, not the norm, because the norm is the James are community builders. They are not destructors of society. The new genealogy will embrace DNA study to further this knowledge, direct the future of its research, correct former research mistakes, and enhance the truth of just who is and who is not a Jesse James family member. And I urge you all, to the extent that you can, to participate. Thank you very much.
Hi there, I'm Eric James. I thought I'd interrupt your viewing just for a moment to bring you up to date on what's happened since the reunion back in 2002. It's now 2015, and I'm sorry to say, Judge James Randall Ross passed away in 2007. Donald James Baumel, second great-grandson of Jesse James, who was at the reunion, he also passed away in 2011. But James Lewis, the third great-grandson, well, he's still with us, and we wish him many more years to come. Plus, we still have 2 more generations of Jesse James descendants behind them. So there's going to be Jesse James family around for many, many years to come. Now, let me bring you up to date. You know, the research I started way back then has been continuing ever since. It hasn't stopped. And it's built up to a gargantuan size as far as the volume of material we've been able to accumulate. The only way that it's going to be possible to show anybody what all that material means and what it means for the Jesse James family is to start writing some books. And that's what I've been up to. I've been writing a 5-volume history of the Jesse James family. The first volume, Jesse James Soul Liberty, was published 2 years ago. It won the prestigious Milton F. Perry Award. Milton F. Perry was the first curator and founder of the Harry Truman Museum back in Missouri. Now, I have a second volume of Jesse James Soul Liberty coming out in 2015, this year. And that's going to focus on John M. James, the grandfather of Frank and Jesse. And it's going to show you the grandfather of Frank and Jesse from the time of the American Revolution right up to the time when Andy Jackson had all those banking problems and the James family found their first antipathy against banks. Now, regarding that DNA study that we mentioned, that we started back then in 2002, well, we completed that about 2009. And I'm thrilled to say that all of the James family lines that we tested all turn out to be uniformly, well, they were uniform without an anomaly. They were all the same. And in fact, they were so much the same that a family line approached us and said, "We think we belong to your family, but we really don't know how." They presented us their material, their documents, some photographs, old letters and things. And it sure as heck looked like they belonged as part of the family, but we didn't know the exact point of where the connection comes in. So we asked them if they would be DNA tested. They did. And lo and behold, they turned out to be part of the family too, without one flaw in their DNA. So, looking into that family, we discovered the reason why they weren't well known to the rest of the family. And that'll be disclosed to you in Volume 3 of Jesse James Soul Liberty. Volume 4 will be a history of Frank James and his retirement, and Volume 5 will be a history of, or a biography, I should say, of Jesse Woodson James, who we celebrated back then in 2002. So I hope you stay with us and keep checking into Stray Leaves, our website, and Leaves of Gas, our blog, for updates. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel right here. And that'll keep you up to date as to what's happening. And regarding the family reunions, well, if we're really lucky, pretty soon we might have a major announcement for you. And you're going to be invited. And we hope to see you there. So, continue on with your viewing, and I'll catch up with you later. So long now.